What's going on, guys? It's Coach New back in the building with another one. As usual, it's going to be jam packed full of jewels. Any time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you hear me checking out these reviews. This one is about a woman who was killed in a domestic violence shooting, and her family's just going to talk about her a little bit and warn like other people that are in a domestic violence or a domestic situation and encourage them to lead a situation, man. So let's check it out.
Say Takesha Eads was the victim of domestic violence when she was shot and killed yesterday in West Orange County. The Orange County Sheriff's Office arresting her husband, 41-year-old Lamar Bryant, for her death. Channel 9's Sabrina Maggiore is live outside of the Orange County Jail where Bryant is being held. And Sabrina, Bryant is back in jail for the second time this month.
Martha, just 2 weeks ago, Brian was let out of jail on bond for fleeing and eluding a law enforcement officer and possession of cocaine with the intention to sell. Now, today, Takesha Eads' family says they're not focusing on that arrest. Instead, they're honoring their mother and sharing a warning to victims of domestic violence.
Hey, mental health, physical health, spiritual health, decision making, man. And it's clear we can see that this guy's decision led him up to being in jail, you know what I'm saying? And he was already in there for something else, as they stated, but then he went right back in there for another irrational and illogical decision that he decided to make, man. And, you know, domestic violence, bro, like, as far as like the man goes, that's because you're in your feelings, bro. And when you're in your feelings, you do stuff out of your character, man. And when you're out of character, you know, you do stuff that you wouldn't normally do, man. And domestics, it's like you trying to, it's an argument. So when you argue, nobody's listening, bro. Both people are trying to get their point across, and then somebody takes it to the next level to like make sure that they're getting their point across, bro. And then it ends up into a whole thing that shouldn't have ever happened, bro. And when you are with your woman, bro, you really shouldn't be arguing with her anyway, man. Like, a disagreement is one thing, but then a domestic is a whole nother thing, man. That means putting your hands on her, or in this case, shooting her, bro. And if she's not gonna listen to you, like, of course not during, a situation where it's already flared up, man, and you guys are fighting. But before that happens, though, if you can just think about, what I'm saying, what's going on, and be able to walk away from the situation until both you guys calm down and then come back later and talk about it. You might get a better result than going back and forth, man, to the point where you guys got to fight and then eventually somebody ends up dead and somebody ends up in jail, like we saw, happen here just now, bro.
We mourn the loss of a beautiful soul, and she's truly missed. Cordesia Page says she's felt the outpouring of love on social media for her mother, 42-year-old Takesha Eads. One day after Eads was shot and killed, she's finding comfort in her mother's faith. On her walk with God, she was bringing a lot of people with her, but this just happened, and this might help somebody else.
Hopefully it does help somebody else, man. And 42 years old, that's pretty young, bro. And believe it or not, man, even you got a lot of life to live, man. Especially if you're healthy and stuff like that, man. So the last thing you want to be doing is arguing with your woman, bro. Getting into something to the point where you're gonna make a decision that's gonna lead you to being in jail, bro, and ruining, potentially ruining the rest of your life, man. Like, even if you get out, you're going to be in there for a while. And then, that's going to be with you for the rest of your life when you get out anyway. It's just making your life harder, bro. It really could be avoided by just thinking about the situation, bro. And before it gets to that point, just walking away and coming back later.
Telling us her mother was the victim of domestic violence. According to the Orange County Sheriff's Office, 41-year-old Lamar Antonio Bryant shot and killed Eads Tuesday. The family says Bryant and Eads were married.
Every 90 seconds, someone is experiencing abuse.
CEO of Central Florida's Harbor House, Michelle Spurzl, says her organization helps domestic violence victims make a safety plan.
If someone is fearful of their life and they know that something has changed and they are saying to themselves, if I don't leave now, he is going to kill me or she is going to kill me, that is exactly why our emergency shelter is there.
Paige warning others to leave when they can. Her kids now have to grow up in a world without their grandmother. It's not.
So, she was a grandmother and a mother too. Well, of course, a mother, but a grandmother too, man. So she got taken away from her kids and her grandkids, bro. And then, she was married too. So if he was the father of, any of those kids and a grandfather too, boom, they just lost both parents then, man. Over some type of argument that really, it's may feel like it's, important at the time to get your point across or whatever, but it's always better to be able to have, the mental capacity to just walk away from the situation, man. So nothing like this happens, bro. And if the woman's not listening to you, bro, then you can't make her listen to you. Like, you can't control anybody, no matter who it is, man. Like, your woman, your friends, your other family, your kids, people are who they are, man, and they're going to act how they want to, bro. So once you know what kind of person you're dealing with and how they're acting or how they're going to act, man, then you just have to act accordingly, man, and keep it cool so you don't put yourself in a situation that, you potentially you can't get out of, man.
Want to get better, so it doesn't matter how much you love the person or how much you feel like the person is going to change. It's not going to happen. And if you do have kids, think about your kids first.
Thinking about the kids, that's the most important thing, man. And like I always say, you don't have to be with, saying your wife or your girlfriend to raise your kids, bro. You can co-parent, man, especially if those kids are old enough to the point where you don't even have to deal with her, man. And it's really giving yourself a chance to move on and do something different and maybe even do something better, man. Find somebody that you are equally yoked with, or, just work on yourself until you feel like, you don't react to certain things like that anymore, or nothing gets to you like that anymore, and you're able to be in a relationship. Because, if you're the kind of person that just always gets into confrontations and stuff like that, then it doesn't matter who you're with. You're gonna find something that you don't like and blow it out of proportion. And then next thing you know, you're doing the same thing you did in the other relationship. Or if you don't heal or take the time to learn about yourself, man, you're gonna bring baggage over from that last relationship, and you're gonna end up arguing again, bringing stuff in there like that you think that the other person's doing when they're really not. It's just because you didn't take the time to focus on yourself long enough, man.
And 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men experience domestic violence in their lifetime. Harbor House says that 99% of the people who contact them are likely to survive their domestic violence relationship. Reporting in Orange County, I'm Sabrina Majore, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
That goes for men and women, bro. Some men do get abused, man. You know, mostly it's women, as they just stated. But, you know, there's a number up there in the video, man, that they posted, and you can, if you're able to walk away from the situation, because we know sometimes it's easier said than done, man, and be able to get the help that you need, then do that, man, because it's the best thing for you, and especially like they were saying, if you got kids, do what's healthy for the whole family, bro. Especially for yourself. If it's healthier not to be in a relationship with that person because you're always fighting and arguing, and it's getting worse and not getting better because you're always fighting, then that means you're bumping heads, you're not listening to each other and stuff like that, man. Then it's time to move on, bro. And being in your feelings doesn't help that, man. It just makes it worse because you're not thinking clear, like I've been saying. Anyways, man, it's Coach Noob. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you're digging this kind of content. And your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you hear me checking out these reviews. Until next time, I'm out.